But let's get to the BBVA story this morning, because this is really moving markets. PNC Financial has agreed to buy BBVA's US unit. What more do we know about this?
I think there are various trends at play at the moment, right? So first of all, there's banking consolidation, and that is happening globally. In the US, it's mainly focusing on regional lenders. We saw some big deals last year with BB&T and SunTrust. That was one of the biggest banking deals in over a decade. And obviously, there's consolidation in Europe, right? It has been picking up. Banks are under pressure from low rates, lots of regulatory costs. And so far, banking M&A has been focusing on domestic consolidation, right? And Spain was one of the markets which has been consolidating. So you saw the Banco Bank deal, as well as, smaller M&A deals in the regional space, Bank, Unicaja. And now, BBVA is creating a lot of optionality with this disposal in the U.S. With $10 billion, you can do a lot in terms of M&A, but also, you can buy back shares. You can pay out a dividend. Obviously, you need some capital at the moment, for COVID uncertainty. But, this is now creating a lot of strategic optionality for BBVA. And it also plays into this theme of banking consolidation. I think this will put other lenders under pressure to basically move faster.
Okay, so this is interesting. I mean, Christian Saving talking about cross-border M&A not being attractive if there's no banking union. And of course, that puts domestic M&A within Spain, for example, very much more at the centre of things, because you don't need banking union to make sense of that. So where are we expecting to see the Spanish banking story really kick off then, Jan-Henrik?
I mean, it has to kicking off this year, right? We saw two significant deals. I'm not sure when CEOs say cross-border M&A, it needs a banking union. Sometimes I feel it's like an excuse. Obviously, these deals can be very complicated. You may need additional capital buffers. You can't move liquidity across borders. But then, if you want to do an offensive move, right, if you want to do something that, changes the European landscape, if you're serious about creating a true European champion that can compete with U.S. banks, then you would do something cross-border. And I think that the ECB is very aware of all these issues, and, regulation will follow at some point. With regards to domestic consolidation, obviously synergies are much higher. These deals are less complex. Often these banks are retail banks. If you look at BBVA now, they could even think about a merger with Santander. Both banks are not the largest in Spain, so they would take market share back. So that's obviously one possibility. Another deal I see is BBVA buying Sabadell, and they would have plenty of cash now to facilitate such a transaction. Obviously, COVID is an uncertainty. Sabadell is very focused on loans to small and medium-sized enterprises, and these have been hit very hard. So you have no visibility on the evolution of the balance sheet. But all these deals are likely now, and with 10 billion of cash from such a transaction, you can basically sit down wherever you want to.